They are coming for you, and they came for me. I know some of you guys out there will be happy about that, but we're going to be talking about leaks in general, what happened here, what I'm doing to maybe talk about that as well, what I did do, and what they said I did do, which I didn't do. All right, so obviously they made this little tweet here. We've discovered the dissemination of leaked content for 1.5. Such behavior not only disrupts our plans to develop and promote the new version, but also causes some travelers to have misconceptions about the content of the new version. As well, they also say, we kindly ask for the support and help of all travelers to resist leaks and maintain a fair gaming environment. Because if everyone knows information, it's the same thing as no one knowing information. Wait, oh my goodness, is that fair? Okay, anyway, we will increase our efforts to deal with such illegal discourses. Well, we'll talk about that as well here. So you guys can see, boom here, I got a copyright strike here, and it says here, you guys can't see because it's off the bottom of the thing here, but the video contains an undisclosed image of the game and content which was maliciously leaked out by players participating in the closed test. The image is still under development. This leak will seriously affect all subsequent announcement plans for the company. Now, in this video, we did not show any in-game footage of the characters, any in-game assets such as character models, attacks, what everything looks like. We just went over numbers and things of that nature, information, hard, cold facts that we know of right now. And that they said that we were leaking in-game assets and footage, which did not happen for us there. But you can see that we got the little strike mob bobber right there. Now, we have a couple things to go for. Whether or not you like or do not like leaks, this is something that I'm going to be looking into. I did message them and ask them to re-review them, their copyright strike here, because this is a big deal, especially if you have a YouTube channel, a straight up copyright takedown notice. And we're going to get more into that as well, because they can use this even if they go a week from now, you're like, you're right, we didn't actually see any of that stuff in the game, in your video. They can wait 2 to 3 weeks, release it, and the damage is already done, right? Because now this video was put up on March 18th, and now it's like April 10th or something, and they were like, oh dude, our bad, let's just abuse that system a little bit more there. So we're talking to them right now about that, and then we'll see what they say and go from there, because there was no in-game assets or footage used. It was just all numbers, and we were going over how we felt about that. So if they actually wanted to actually care about that stuff, I'm not going to show it on the channel, obviously, but you can go out there very easily on YouTube and actually find a bajillion videos actually showing off in-game assets, showing off in-game videos. And if they cared that much, maybe you should go after that stuff instead. Anyways, that's that though. But let's talk about this real quick here. So, increase our efforts to deal with illegal disclosures. How did this 1.5 thing even happen here? And this is entirely the biggest fumble I've seen maybe any company take when it comes to if they really want to protect all of their data and have no one talk about it, right? You want to close that trap down, make it so no one can get in, hard lock that up, Borg cube it, no one's coming in. Here's what happened here. So we're not going to go over all of this stuff. This has to do with some of the Discord stuff, but here's the biggest mistake that they made in a long time when it comes to protecting their private, special data that they don't want anyone to look at. So 1.5 had the beta files publicly available to download. Usually they're a little bit harder to gain access to. They made it publicly available for you guys to get access to these files. And that's where this came from. This is going to be one of the most, and it's like everything to do in 1.5 right now. All characters, dungeons, pretty much anything that they're planning on, at least at this point in time, you can go and find that. So that's a big, bad deal there. And then obviously a couple hours later, they released this thing. Now, we can talk about this, whether leaks, you feel are good for the game, bad for the game, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, whether you think they're okay in the ability for the company to actually profit off leaks and future information, or if you think that that's a bunch of hullaballoozios. All right, so the increasing your efforts to deal with such legal disclosures, maybe don't make, I don't know, the entire patch publicly available right away. Like it said here, yeah, it's a bit weird coming from them, considering they're the ones that made this mistake and led to hundreds of people able to download the beta client right away. And then they developed not only the files, but the entire the entire beta publicly as well. Now, if you're going to create a problem like this and get mad about it, you know, maybe take a little bit of credit for yourself. And what they're doing now is it seems like they're taking a sledgehammer and a dartboard and combining them together and just start throwing them out left and right, left and right. I didn't even realize that I have 2 now. They did something else. I didn't even realize they've done like a Hutel video that I did going over Hutel skills again right before she came out, like literally a day before. And I didn't even see that one happen. So that's a little interesting there that they're going ham on something that they caused. Now, do I think that people should leak stuff? No, I don't think if you're in the beta and you signed an end-term license agreement, all right, that says that you should not, you know, you're not allowed to leak so and so, such and such, all of that stuff. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. You're legally obligated not to do that. Right now, is it okay, in my opinion, to go through and have fun and develop hype and stuff? And this is where I like the leaks. You should not do it, but if that information gets out, whether it's early in snippets through the company itself, or unfortunately it does come out in some sort of lighter fashion, you should not go around and slamming your sledgehammer and your dartboard together and just like taking down random stuff over and over and over and over and falsely claiming the reasons why you're doing it. That's not cool. That's not a good look, and that's not fun at all. So once the information gets out, you have a hard problem there. So what you really need to do is keep your information from getting out in the first place. I 100% agree with that. If you want to have you know, open beta, closed beta, and if it's harder, the more open your betas are, the harder it is to keep locked down. So when you have something like this where everyone can download the thing, it's going to become a bigger problem for you there, which is going to be a huge thing. But yeah, I agree. Lock down your stuff more. And if you want to go after legal action for people who literally signed, I'm not going to do this, I can't leak, right? They signed those agreements. Go after them. They signed the paper, right? They're the ones illegally procuring the information. Everyone else that talks about it afterwards and why it gets spread is they're technically legally talking about illegally acquired information. They were not the ones that went out there and actually illegally procured that information. So that's my stance on leaks. I think it's fun for the game to have new content to talk about, especially with like 1.3, 1.4. The combination of like this being so easily accessed because of their giant mistake. And honestly, guys, the fact that 1.3 and 1.4, especially in 1.4, was like we kind of know it's going to be like a filler kind of content, right? You have the dating sim, you have reruns of characters, and all of that stuff. That's probably why people are so hungry for new stuff, because it's going to be a whole patch of old stuff. Now, the other thing here, let's talk about how people actually think about leaks, because some people, I voted neutral. Like I said, I'm neutral with this on the leaks. I'm neutral because I don't agree that they should occur illegally, but I also do love them, so we can talk about new stuff and build up some hype, honestly, around the game and get interested in stuff, keep people from leaving. So let's see what some other people talked about down here as well. See, neutral. I'm happy to look up link content, and I think it'd be beneficial for planning your polls. That's true, but Mihoyo hates that, and they really hate this 1.5 one because the 2 characters that are getting rerun are rerun characters, right? Venti and Child. They're old characters. So this is kind of, you can see that it's financially incentivizing them to really stop these 1.5 leaks. That's why they're going after them so hard. It's because it's Venti and Child, right? Maybe people have them. Maybe people kind of want Venti because they know he's really good, but they'd rather have a new character. The new character was cool too. And this really disincentivizes people from pulling on Venti or Child. All right. Now, I think in my experience, the official reveals would be more exciting without them. That's true. Now, especially if you were able to lock down the animations and, you know, in-game voice lines and animations and attacks, you don't know what they do, and then there's an official one, that'd be awesome. They're also troublesome when it comes to people taking the leaks as gospel and don't understand that specifics are subject to change. That is true as well. And listen, man, no matter what it is in life, leaks or different builds, if someone's ignoring some facet of whatever kind of content they're taking into consideration, whether it be, you know, visually based or audio visual like YouTube, or straight up visually like on a Reddit post here, if people are going to ignore stuff, there's people are just going to ignore it. You can't really do anything about that. right? You could have like a guy like, this weapon's the best in this time, this weapon's the best in this time, this weapon's the best in this time, and someone would be like, so what's the best weapon? And you're like, well, brother, I told you exactly specifically what build each of these weapons wants to use. Not talking about just Genshin, but in general, you'll get people like that. And they ignore the context, right? You could slap a giant warning label of like, this is going to change, probably, maybe, and they'll just ignore it, right? They'll just ignore that line. I agree with this. It's hilarious when people consider leakers have some sort of moral high ground. I don't. If you're the one procuring that information illegally, you're the one data mining it and stuff. And releasing it, specifically like the straight out of the game, maybe don't. But if it's put out there, then I think people are gonna be talking about it. So, no personal problem with it occurring. Let's be real, they're not in their righteous position, especially if they sign NDAs. This is the one. So I don't mind. I do not mind you data mining the game for me morally or whatever. If you didn't sign an NDA and you're given access to the stuff somehow, then that's kind of like, IOTAS is kind of like, that's kind of messed up on their part. Like, if they want to protect stuff so bad that they give you their stuff, you don't sign an NDA. It's a little weird. As a low spender, I often rely on leaks to decide how to use my primos. That's what they hate there. But honestly, let's be about this here. This isn't going to change up that much. If you're a low spender, that means you're not buying a whole pity, and it means you're saving up for a whole pity. And if once you pity, you're not buying another pity. So you might get a character that you didn't really want. Maybe this guy's going to get Venti, and he's like, oh man, that new character down the line in patch 1.6 looks really cool. He's going to be able to save up for the 1.6 character, maybe not the 1.5 character. But he also is not going to give the company any money to get that 1.5 character because he doesn't spend that much money. Mihoyo's really not transparent about their future plans. They do drop their stuff very late, literally like 1 or 2 days before the character comes out, especially character stuff. When you see the Genshin Impact YouTube video update for a new character coming out, you know that character's coming out in like 2 days because that's just how they do it there. Now, this is something other companies have had to really go have a back and forth with themselves on. Is they want to hold back so you have that fear of missing out, right? I got to get everything. I can't. I don't know when it's coming back. I don't know when it's coming up. Surprise, 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 right? But when you do that, and it's like a 6-week period before you go through all of that stuff, people are going to get bored a little bit. People are going to drop off a little bit, and the hype is not really there. What I would like to see is if they could find a way to put a stop to the big leaks, right? Because I understand you don't want that getting out, but then you drop snippets like every week and a half or 2 weeks or something about like, here's something that we're doing, stuff like that. Give someone like a roadmap, right? Roadmap would be awesome. Yeah, that's what they want. By not revealing the roadmap for future content until very near, they will become free to play to become light spender. You can't force someone to spend more money. You can't force a free to play to become a light spender. You can't force a light spender to become a whale to be a megalodon. Whales already get everything they want. So one of my new friends actually stopped playing Welcome because he had enough primos for guaranteed Iyaka and don't have any interest in characters beside Iyaka. Leaks made him continue buying Welcome, which is true. Like I said, you sit back, you don't know what's coming up. Maybe you don't need that Welcome anymore. Maybe you don't need to play the game that much anymore. Maybe you're like, I'm just gonna wait for this character to come out. I'm gonna log out. I'm not gonna do my dailies. I'm just gonna get bored, and then people eventually quit there. But this has always been a gotcha sort of thing where they really hate leaks, right? And I can understand that, especially when your monetary fiscal revenue here, in my opinion, is entirely based on fear of missing out. It really is. You can even see that in some of this, the way that some of this is said here, right? Disrupts our plans to develop and promote the new version. Like, yeah, so you want to hide it until all the other current stuff's released. Maintain a fair gaming environment. I don't even know what this is supposed to mean. It's a PvE game. What is a fair gaming environment in a PvE game when it comes to leaks? I don't even know what that even means. I have no idea. You react to leaks in less than 24 hours, but don't do anything to account security. Yeah, where's two-factor? Where's two-factor authentication, man? And this guy knows about what we talked about earlier. You don't want the content to be leaked. Maybe don't make it public. I mean, if it's publicly available, like I don't even know, man. I don't even know, man. Now, this one right here, I want to talk about this. Why leakers actually increase hype rather than destroy plans. So yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Disrupt our plans to develop and promote the new version. That is, in my opinion, it's not what it does. No, it's not what it does. He quoted the Twitter post here. Everything in 1.5 got leaked. And leaks are a godsend to low spenders and free-to-play players. That's true, and they don't like that. They want to try to entice you to get all of the characters, which in truth, that's only what a whale's gonna do. Like, unless you're whaling in Genshin Impact, you're not getting every 5-star character that comes out ever. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is the thing that they don't like. And the thing that we talked about, especially with 1.4, that's why they're really against this 1.5 stuff. Because they were out in force here. And it's because they took the 1.4 slow down rerun banner syndrome here. And this guy had a friend who's was going to pull for Venti. And then the leaks came out and was like, I ain't pulling for Venti anymore. I got that new hype coming out. Right? But if you wanted to increase hype, like I said, you can do it through your own means, man. Right? The more you're able to build up hype for your own game on yourself of your own accord, the more you can control what that is. So lock down the leakers, right? Go after people who didn't sign the NDAs. Lock down the leakers as much as possible. Maybe don't make the whole patch available for public. And then you can build up hype yourself. Don't just sit there and chill out and there's a character coming out in 2 days. Drop the trailer for him. Nah, dude. Put some snippets out there, Put some snippets out there for us to see what's going on here. You know what they're doing with the Daneslave quest in game right now? They're gonna make you love Daneslave. So when he comes out in like patch 1.99, Daneslave syrup, you're like, I love Daneslave. Because that is something that this game is really good at doing. Genshin Impact is amazing at dropping story content for characters during their patch. And you play through it and you're like, I kind of really want Hu Tao now. Or I kind of really want Chao now. Or man, I kind of really want Venti now because he seems like a drunk bard. He's kind of cool, right? They're really good at doing that. Do more of that. And then in addition to that, release some snippets of things that are happening from time to time. Now I know they do the big, like we just had the 1.4 reveal, but once again, we're in 1.4 now. That stuff's coming out very soon. And that stuff, though, their live streams are always very, very well done. I do love that. But what if they had their own timeline thing, right? I like leaks, keeps me interested in the game. This, with no content to do, I only look to the future to keep myself playing. That is true as well. The hardest thing to do in the game is still the Abyss, right? We have these nice time-limited little events and stuff, but they're not hard, they're not difficult, they're not challenging. They're like fun to do, right? Like Geovisheps and where to find them, with the festival coming out for Mondstadt. We had the tower defense for 1.3. But that comes in and it goes away, and when you're done with it, you're kind of done with it. There's nothing really to look forward to. After Zhongli, huge failure. I wasn't looking forward to keep playing as much as before. Yeah, we got Ganyu leaks, and boy, did I save my Freemo gem. So this guy was on the precipice of trying to quit the game, and they were becoming disinterested in the game. And the leaks happened, and they got way interested in the game. And I can say this for the new Cryo character. I was like, oh man, one of my boys will make fun of me, but I was like, man, I ain't got nothing down. I don't need no more characters of all time. I don't need any more characters. I got too many characters, bro. I'm just gonna like log in, do my dailies, and leave. And then this 1.5 stuff happened, and I was like, this character's so cool. She's right up my alley. I am so excited, and I started just playing I'm just in the game, farming stuff up, slaughtering monsters, so I can get all the materials that I would ever need for this character. Before, I was just gonna be on my daily system. I was just log in and maybe do Abyss one time in 2 weeks and come back out. This guy, Mihoyo, needs to have their marketing material in sync with the beta. That'd be cool. That's very hard to do, though. Very hard to do. But yeah, you can pull it off. And you can't leak something if it's public knowledge anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Lock down the people leaking their stuff out. That is a problem. We talked about that several times. But throw out your own snippets, because you get to be the one in control. There. I love these leaks. They make me hyped, but it's largely because I trust Mihoyo to get them done on town. That's true as well, right? There's not been since Zhongli, there hasn't been like a huge amount of characters that got vastly changed at one point. I think they buffed Rosario a little bit from what we know, by a tiny amount, but like no other character, like Hu Tao didn't really get changed that much. And people, they were hyped for Hu Tao, right? And like, I think at one point here, if you were on Twitter, I thought was something that was really cool was people were like, where Hu Tao? And the Genshin Impact Twitter would respond, Hu Tao, WHOTAO. And like, yeah, dude, that's cool. You know, you guys know that it's happened, but that's a cheeky way to have interaction with your community. It became like a Twitter meme. But yeah, let me know what you think about leaks. Let me know how happy you are that I got a strike on my channel. I'll update you at some point. Let's see what happens with that. But I think leaks are pretty good. I'll edit this video down. It's kind of ranty. But that's just how it is at sometimes. You know, I don't know. I'm sure if you guys want to find more stuff or whatever, you can go find it easy. You just can't find it on my channel here for the time being, because I got two. So if I got one more, my channel is freaking deleted. This is an abuse of this stuff. But we'll have to see what comes into fruition from that. So you guys, if you want to help out the channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. And be sure to go down to the comment section and talk about your feelings on this situation with 1.5. So I'm looking forward to hear that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.